Howdy YouTube, Jack here with Trick 3, and welcome back to another episode of Outside the Hash. At the moment, I am by myself. Nate may or may not be joining later, depending on how quickly I go through things. Kyle is definitely not showing up. But I do have my always reliable co-host of Statby and Friends, so, not alone. So I'm just going to start off with the fun league. It completely changed their schedule on me, so I missed pretty much all the games. NorCal didn't play because I think they're done. Week 6, all their games got changed except for Michigan Avengers, Ohio Blitz. So, whiffed on these. But Michigan did win 46-6. There was a PAIA AAL2 crossover. Peach State beat Tri-City 40-30. Jersey handled New Jersey 36-29 to stay undefeated, and Steel City came away with a 1-point win over the War Eagles. So as things stand in the AL2, Jersey's undefeated 5-0. Definitely the best team in the league. Michigan leading the North 3-1. Their one loss, I believe, is to Jersey. And then you have Georgia also undefeated at 4-0 over in the South, but their SRS is a little sad because of their GIFL stuff. So they've had a very good regular season. They lost the championship, but through regular season they are 8-0, so good for them there. Yeah, so we only picked up one game. Everybody got it right. So no real changing in the standings. In the AIF, that game got switched on me too, so womp womp. But Cedar Rapids did end up losing to their non-league opponent, the Knoxville Bandits, who I can point out here played in the United Indoor Football Association, where they went 2-2. I believe both their losses were to Wisconsin, so. And they were originally supposed to play Peach State, but everything could change. There is an announcement for Coralville to have their last game of the season this upcoming weekend, but they have not announced an opponent yet. So I guess we'll see that. Also, let me do my pick. I'm gonna do Georgia, then easy Jersey, Tri-City, Michigan. These games definitely aren't happening. So no, the Savages are better than the Jets that suck. I'll just assume Coralville will pick a opponent they can beat. So yeah, no changes because we didn't pick the game that happened. I guess I can show you. So yeah, so here with Knoxville beating Cedar Rapids 65-40, and then here is the announcement of Coralville playing one last game. So we will see who they end up playing. I'm sure they have a okay shot of winning. It depends. I guess really depends on who they play. So we'll head on over to Major League Rugby. The game I ended up choosing to cover was Old Glory beating NOLA 27-14. I picked this game because Chicago lost to one of the other guys' teams, so I left it open for them to pick it. Of course, neither one of them have shown up, so maybe I should have done Chicago. Oh well. Old Glory, Facundo Gatis, 10 points. He led the game. 4 tries to 2 tries. Possessions were fairly even. Territory was pretty even. But Glory had 40 more tackles. They carried about 90 less meters, but more cross gain line, more efficient on the. I guess they're the same efficiency and conversions, but they had two. They also got a penalty goal, kicking meters about 100 more, or over 100 more. Those were about the same. Tackle leaders: Corey Daniels, your tackle leader, meter made. Harry Humphrey. Other scores around the league: Utah lost to Seattle. That was unexpected for what I was expecting. I guess I can pull it up here. So Miami beat NOLA earlier. And then I guess the game I covered. Never mind. Okay, whatever. New England beat Chicago. Womp womp. Sad face for me. Uh, Houston beat San Diego. We all missed on that one. Rugby handled Anthem. I still don't know why Kyle was picking Anthem. He's dumb. He did get Seattle beating Utah right, and then that game that happened yesterday. That gets was actually technically part of this week, but it was a win for my team regardless. So I will go New England. I will go Houston home. They're not that far now either, right? Yeah. Seattle's kind of hot right now. I'll go Seattle actually here. Old Glory, easy, easy peasy, and then Chicago. So there is that. Standings. New England, most points, they're leading the East, and then Utah is leading the West. It is kind of a crowded field, though. All not that far away from each other than Anthem. Anthem's just atrocious. And then, who are our stat leaders? Luilu, and your points leader, Mano Tribe, Billy Meeks, Gary, Jordan Trainer, is your meters made so far. Tackles, Frank Lockhor is your tackles leader. So, there's that. Alright. We will close out of these and head over to the National Arena League. So, game I decided to cover was the Columbus Lions beating the Shreveport Rougarou. Vincent Espinoza started for the Lions here. He had a okay game. He was 9 of 16 for 5 touchdowns, but 2 picks, 115 yards. Marco Lee, three and a half yards per carry on 10 carries, 20 long and 21, so he really picked it up on one. Jamal Gooden had 5 receptions. Jerome Forston had 1 reception. All five catches for 5 touchdowns in a little while, so shout out to Jamal Gooden there. Like 3 sacks, 4 for 4 on PATs, so you can't complain there. Josh Hollis, who's playing for Shreveport. I think he was in Omaha earlier this year, and then I think he was in Kansas City last year. So I think this is a new quarterback for Shreveport. I don't remember seeing him recently. 7-11, 78 yards, 2 picks, no touchdowns, so rough going for it there. But he did pick up 62 yards on the ground, though he didn't get a touchdown. The running back, or wide receiver, Denarius Antone, had 2 rushing touchdowns, though. No receiving touchdown. No sacks listed, so they did have the 2 picks. So there's that. Other scores around the league were Omaha beating Sioux City 55-42, and then Beaumont beating Wheeling 41-26. So, standing Beaumont still undefeated. Still, they have second best at the rest, though, because Omaha still has the best at the rest. So Beaumont leads the American. Omaha leads the national. Omaha only has a 1-game lead, though, and Beaumont has a pretty good 3-game lead. So, I guess this could still flip if things go wacky, but I think Beaumont has pretty much locked up the number 1 out of the American. Colorado, easy. Sioux City, easy. It's probably going to be Beaumont, so Beaumont there. There was a little bit of news out of Wheeling that their quarterback, Grant Russell, retired. So I think any hope of them bouncing back is officially skedaddled. So I would count out Wheeling for the rest of the year. Standing with the league leaders. Carl Robinson still leading your left path. Yeah, so there's Grant Russell. He's gone now. He's retired. Drew Proska still your rushing leader. That makes sense. Tyler Henson still your receiving leader. And I don't know if this is really updated at all. Okay. We will hop over to the AF1 now. So I chose the easy game, picking my Albany Firebird. They handled the Nashville Cats pretty easily. 16-27, 225, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick for Castronova. He also had a rushing touchdown. So easy peasy. Dwayne Brown, 9 catches, 144, 4 touchdowns. Darian Townsend, 326, 2 touchdowns. So easy pickings. Ezekiel Rose had 3 sacks. Their kicker was 9 of 10 on PATs with a deuce. So made up for that 1 miss. Tyler Kolka still had himself a good day. 27 of 44, 332, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Not much on the ground for them. Milton Williams III, 2 touchdowns, 10 receptions, 85 yards. Jordan Gandy, 8, 138, 1. So, couple good receiving performances out of them. Their kicker hit 3 deuces, so that's kind of impressive. They got a safety, evidently. But yeah, other scores around the league. Corpus Christi did not fold yet, but they are no longer really a competitive team. They got smoked by Oregon 52-20, and Billings they signed Malik Henry, and they actually have a somewhat decent quarterback now. He was, of course, with San Antonio earlier in the year until he lost that job. But they handled the Washington 69-10. Nice. Both those teams are so garbage. Hello, Nate.
Hey.
We are in the AF1.
Sweet.
We will hop back and get your pick.
Kadoke.
Okay, I'm gonna hop back. Do you have my screen up yet?
Pulling it up. Just a second. I do now.
You do now. Okay. So all the games in the Fun League got changed on me, so we didn't pick like any of them.
Hey, we got one.
Yes, we got the Michigan one because they actually have a website with an updated schedule, so I can check their game every week.
Makes sense. Yeah, I'll go Georgia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure these ones are all right though.
But that's Kyle.
Yep. Georgia. Okay.
I'll go Maryland. Why not?
They're gonna get smoked. in the
They're
league.
that bad? Are they that bad?
Jersey is the best team in the league.
Okay, I'll go Jersey
Yeah,
then.
it's a 35-point Ethereth difference.
All right, yeah, no, I'll go Jersey. Can I see the SRS on this?
Yeah, Carolina hasn't won yet. I know that. 11 points, but they both suck.
Yeah, I'll go Tri-City. Michigan Avengers.
And then these games probably aren't happening.
Yeah, I'll go Sharks anyway. Why not? And yeah, I'll go Savages. I'll just match you.
Yeah. All right. We don't know who Coralville is playing yet. They're just to be announced. But they changed the game on me
Classic.
last week, anyways. So the TBA is probably actually better. Do you want to pick your Chads, or do you want to pick to be announced?
Probably to be well. I don't know yet. I'll say they're so bad though.
Yeah, Cedar Rapids got smoked by the random opponent they played.
Oh gosh. Well, if it's, I'll go the Chad's contingent for now.
Yeah, see
Um,
who they end up playing.
I'll want to see who they play though,
Yeah.
if they play.
Yeah. New England, Miami over in Major League Rugby.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at my Houston thing here. I will go New England. I can't make sense of heads or tails on Houston anymore. They make no sense. I mean, they are theoretically 4, but their 4 losses have been to teams they should have handily beat. So
Decently close in at the rest.
yeah, I'll go Houston. I've been picking so bad on them though. Yeah, I'll go Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's hot right now.
I'll go Old Glory.
I'm just gonna
And I'll
put
go
Kyle's
Chicago.
pick for him there because he's obviously gonna pick it because he can't stop himself.
I could go over my Houston game really quick, or
Do you want to go over it? That's fine.
I mean, I don't have an article for it. I only have an article for it, so I could skip Mage MLR and go over the other stuff, or I can go over it anyway. And so it's up to you.
We could just get up to the AF1 and then you can cover that.
Okay. Well, then I will go Colorado. I'll go Bandits and Beaumont. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think those ones are a
their
bit
quarterback
easier.
retired.
Yeah, I saw that. They're cooked, chat.
Yeah. I did my Albany game. So what are you doing? Billings taking this shit out of Washington.
Yeah, I'll need to pull that up, but
Because you guys signed Malik Henry.
Love to see it, chat. So give me a second. Get this up, and I'll get my screen shared. Okay, so that should be good. Okay, well, Billings is so back, chat. I'm probably delusional, but as you mentioned, we snagged Malik Henry, so 15 for 20, 180 yards, 6 touchdown passes. Bro was cooking, and even brought in Braden Wingle, 2 for 3, and a touchdown pass. So Washington was not stopping us through the air whatsoever. Not a lot through the ground, but a couple touchdown runs there, so we'll take that as well. In terms of receiving, Darius Prince was leading the way with 4 tutties and 87 yards, so only of his 2 of his catches didn't go for a touchdown, and even threw one to an offensive lineman. Tyrone Sampson Jr. caught a pass, so a little trickery. Is this the dagger? Yeah, is this the dagger type pass? You know. So looks like 5 sacks allegedly. 4 interceptions, a few more pass deflections. Did not force a fumble, but it looks like Justice King and Kevin Boyles are pretty busy one way or the other. So good for us. Did not have a kick return touchdown. And 9 for 9 on extra points. 2 deuces. Did miss a field goal. As for Washington, it was not a good game for Dominic Schaffner. 11 for 26. 4 interceptions. Didn't have a touchdown pass. The Adam Cruz, who came in later, 3 for 4, 70 yards, had a really good drive, leading to the only touchdown um, of the game. So they did win the rushing in terms of total yards, I suppose. So there's a plus, I guess. With Darian McAllister leading the way receiving for them, 2 catches and a touchdown. Even lost 2 yards on his other receptions. So good for you, I guess. Did get to the quarterback a little bit, a couple sacks there, but as we saw, no interceptions, didn't force a fumble either. So quite a few tackles because they were, on the field for a vast majority of the game. So even had McAllister playing both ways there. So no kick return touchdown, unfortunately, but they were clean in field goal attempts and point after attempts. So overall, Billings is so back chat. I'm probably delusional, but we'll take it.
I hope you're delusional. I don't like their owner. He's so annoying.
Yeah, not a great owner, but what can I do about it, chat?
You can be like a White Sox fan and they build a team.
Based.
All right. Only 2 games this upcoming week. Southwest Kansas versus Billings. I'm going to choose with my heart and not my head and go Southwest Kansas.
I'll go Billings. I'm gonna go. What? How bad is Oregon? Not
They,
Washington bad.
yeah,
Yeah, they're not Washington. Yeah,
they're both
yeah. I'll go
bad.
Oregon. I'll go Oregon. I guess they're both pretty bad, but I think
Pretty
Washington
sure
is.
like almost all of their wins are against each other.
That's brutal.
And then Oregon, of course, beating the not really existing Corpus Christi Titans.
Unbelievable.
They haven't
Well, we'll
folded
see.
yet, but
They're getting there.
yeah, they should have folded after last week or after last game. All right, on to Aussie land, down under. Uh, All right. I did my Magpies beating Fremantle. It's the like
Nice.
indigenous people section of the season, so some of the teams have their funny logos and names. Or I guess the Aboriginal would be the correct term, right, for Australia? Aboriginal.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, heal up. It's Fremantle. That logo is kind of dope, though. Actually, I just want the summary fine because it can be that fine line. The Fremantle had the lead in the first, and then they blew it, but then they reclaimed it, and then they blew it again, and then it was over. So, really players yet. So they had the 2 highest fantasy point scorers, so who really won the game? Am I right?
Darn right.
But Jack Crisp over here, number 1 for the Magpies. He had 2 goals. Shout out when your best goal fantasy point leader actually scored goals. Of course, the guy who scored 6 is 6. Because disposals are super duper important.
Worth way more kicks. Yeah.
But yeah, team stats. Disposals, 75 more, so they were moving the ball a little bit more.
I should mention I'm looking at the spreadsheet screen right now.
Yes.
Oh, is that what you're going for? I thought you were just okay. Okay. I was looking away for 2 seconds while I was pulling up my game, and then I was like, oh.
Oh, I'm streaming the. Okay, yeah. I accidentally
You
hit
pulled a
share.
me, Jackson.
Yeah, I know. Change stream. I want to change my whole screen. There you go, Nate.
There we go. Nice.
Disposal was about 75 more for Fremantle. So they were moving the ball a lot more, but they weren't scoring, so not as much at least. It was a close game. They definitely moved it inside the 50 way more. And they were even pretty efficient, but it didn't work out. Actually, no, they weren't efficient inside the 50. They were efficient overall, but then all their efficiency went away. And then Collingwood was very efficient inside. They got more efficient as they went inside the 50. As for Fremantle, who fell apart. Pretty close in most of the stoppages, things other than center clearances. Less turnovers for Collingwood. Possession, fourth quarter possession was definitely a big turnaround there. But yeah, really comes down to hitting your goals versus hitting behinds. Looks like it. So, but the Pies won, and that's all that matters to me.
Heck yeah. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Well, my game I'm going to share is not a win, but it's also
Not a lot. I know what game you're covering.
not a loss.
This is the most
Sorry,
Brisbane line game
got
possible.
side.
The most Brisbane line game possible here. Really good defense with no offense.
Crap, hang on. I'm sorry. We're respond to this really quick. I'll give it a minute. I'll go over this game and read that. Okay. So the game, yeah, Lions gonna Lion tying the Roos 71-71. So we had less disposals, kicks, handballs, tied inside the 50. Holy cow, this is laggy. But more efficient inside the 50. So that was that helped us out a ton there. More clearances, more stoppage clearances, more contested possessions, but we weren't as successful on contested possessions. A couple more turnovers as well, but anything too horrendous. Even tied in possession battle, although the last 10 minutes makes you wonder if we blew a lead here.
Check the
But we'll check that out in a second. We had less marks, tied in marks inside the 50. So, I mean, this is a close game. Other than the fact, okay, so we didn't blow a lead. Well, I guess we technically did. So we were losing most of this game. But it looked like overall, like statistically, this game's pretty split even. So, I mean, what was their biggest lead? I didn't see. 21. Which is, that's not, massive in this league. So, look at the timeline really quick. Yeah, I mean, it looks like right around the halfway point was the biggest lead they had. But for the most part, beyond that, looking at it, didn't really have any other significant leads in the first or relatively, for the most part, in the third as well. So, pretty close game. Really quickly, going to fantasy point leaders. Dane Zerko with 137, leading the way for the Lions, and then the leader for the Brews is Tristan Deary at 116. So, yeah, so that's summing up that game. We'll take the tie. It's better than losing. So,
Yep. It really
and Lions in poverty.
too.
Heck yeah, it did.
Alright. So, other games around the league. Carlton beat St. Kilda 77-62. Hawthorn beat Melbourne 91-56. Eston beat Sydney 71-63. Gold Coast beat Western 106-96. Adelaide beat Port Adelaide 89-84. Richmond beat West Coast 81-79 in the battle of trash. GWS beat Geelong 105-101. So top 8 did not change from last week. I don't think the order even changed. And then
All right.
Melbourne's North Melbourne's SRS got bumped up a lot by tying the number 1 team. I guess they're the number 2 team in SRS now. So you're fourth to last now instead of second to last.
Let's go, baby. Love to see it.
All right, Hawthorne versus Gold Coast. That's actually just a really good game.
Who's home?
Maybe Gold Coast. Once again, there's a lot of neutral site games in this league.
I'll rock with Hawthorne. I rock with them a lot. I mess with them heavy.
I'll go with Gold Coast. Bad, or they're okay bad? They're okay.
I think they're starting off poorly, but are figuring it out. I'll probably go Carleton as well. I'll go Magpies.
I have no idea if they're gonna figure out how to play fucking football.
That'll go Geelong. Giants. This could be an interesting one. Bombers, Bulldogs. I don't really know. Yeah, probably gonna go Bulldogs.
Yeah.
I'll go Bulldogs. Man, anything's possible. Am I right? Wow. I guess it is the Tigers. Yeah, screw it. I don't get to pick them very often. I'll go with my boys. Lions.
Two bad teams.
And how bad is West Coast?
West Coast, they're the worst team in the league.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're going with the Saint killed the Saints. If we lose, then that's how we know we have one premiership.
Yeah. So, pretty close to everybody on the pick'em last week too. We'll head over on to the IFL, the Indoor Football League. I chose a bit of a different one. I went away from Quad Cities because they lost this week, and I went with the Tucson Sugar Skulls to embarrass the Massachusetts Pirates, 47-26. Massachusetts is so bad. I can't believe they're so bad after they went to the championship last year. I guess Alejandro Benefield is really that important to the team.
Yeah.
Why he kept beating off all that premier talent they signed and scaring them away, and then he leaves and finally retires, and Genji Behar sucks. So Jorge Renya, 9 of 14, 104, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but that was better than Genji Behar, who was 9 of 28 for 105 and an interception. Puka Williams, though, did have 100 rushing yards. That was pretty impressive. You don't very often see 100 rushing yards in arena football. So good for Puka Williams. He had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Hey, I'm sorry. Work is taking me. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to hop off.
Okay.
Work's pulling me away. So.
Alright.
Sorry.
No problem. You were here for a little bit. Alright. Tio Redding, Thomas Owens, Isaac Dicko had a decent, essentially the same between both teams there. Anything big here? 2 missed field goals for Massachusetts, but that wouldn't really have made the difference. They were long field goals too. So there is that. Other scores from around the league: Green Bay beat Quad City 47-25. Tulsa beat Iowa 62-57. So that was actually a pretty impressive showing by Iowa there. Vegas handled San Antonio 55-27. Arizona held off Bay Area 53-48. San Diego beat Northern Arizona 40-29. Other games other games this week. I'm gonna go. Quad City, San Diego. I'm gonna go Jacksonville. I'm going to Green Bay. I'm going to Arizona. Both these teams suck. Gosh, probably Massachusetts will probably beat them, and then I'll go Bay. Standing wise, obviously, Quad City still leading the East. Arizona leading the West. Um, who are our leaders in passing? Dalton Sneed and Max Mailer both have broke the century mark in passing, so there is that. Kion Williams, Isaiah Hudson are both above 400. Rushing, Jaya Wright, TJ Edwards, Puka Williams, all over 300 for the season. TJ Edwards, Kenji Behar both have full touchdowns. So that's where Kenji's at least putting in a little bit of work and rushing touchdowns. We will hop over to the UFL where there were some comebacks this week. Obviously, the biggest one here being Birmingham's 19-point comeback against Houston. They let Houston go up pretty big in the first half, and then the second half they were able to come back. The big performance, of course, in the game being Jamar Smith coming in off the bench. He was retired earlier in the year. They kept having to bring him back because they've had so many injuries, and he came in and ended up winning the game here with the final drive going 3 of 5, 63 yards, getting that touchdown and that W. So big props to Jamar Smith. Jalen McClendon has played well since he took over the starting job for Houston, so props to him as well. Biscuit. Okay. Anything really here? Not really. Okay. Birmingham went 3 for 3 with a log of 52. I guess I can hop over and show the other big game. Wow, this both changing. I'll just pull it up here, I guess. This was the other one. Michigan's comeback against Arlington, which happened on the last play of the game where they took the lead. Yeah, 16 points in the fourth to win the game. They got bailed out by getting a second back, and then they did the kind of ballsy move and they ran the ball to end up winning 25-24. Bryce Perkins 231. Luis Perez did throw 300 yards though, 2 tutties. Bryce Perkins also with a rushing touchdown, and then Tua Tawa with the game-winning touchdown there, and the 1-point conversion, I believe. So that Birmingham leads the USFL. DC still leads the XFL, but they both are tied in record by Michigan and St. Louis, respectively. I will go Memphis. I will go Michigan. I will go Birmingham, and then I will go Arlington. So we will see on those. LFA, everybody's favorite Mexican football. My Fundineros as the Osos won their game 34-20 over the Galos Negros. it was a pretty not a pretty easy game for them. They handled them pretty well. Uh, so here we could see. Oh, so Shelton Epler, he was 25 of 31, 298, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. So almost 300 yards. I will take that. So Montini, 44 rushing yards and a touchdown. So good. And then Tristan Wallace had 4 receptions, 83 yards, 2 touchdowns. Thomas Aguirre had 7 receptions, 79 yards and a touchdown. And Torn Justice also had a touchdown on 5 receptions. So he spread the ball pretty good. Yeah. 4-7, 4-4, 5-1-1. Yeah. He spread the ball all around. But no complaints for how Epler played for me. Miguel Negros, quarterback, 262, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Uh, we stuffed them entirely on the running game, so I will take that big W. It looks like we were we got killed by James Joseph Bailey Brainia. 12 receptions, 179. So you're definitely gonna have to keep an eye on him. Like he had a really good week 1 too with 7 receptions. So he's probably definitely their #1 target. So I'd be watching out on him. Other scores around the league. The Dinos handled the expansion Archangels 20-3. The Mexicans handled the Reyes 27-3. And then the Caudillos handled the Raptors 32-9. The Caudillos, Mexicas, Osos, Fontaneros are all undefeated 2-0. None of those teams play each other until week 6 and then week 7. But the Fundies and the Mexicans play week 6, and the Caudillos play the Mexicans week 7. This is it. So those teams could all be undefeated halfway through the year. So that will be interesting to see. Um, but yeah, I'll go Mexico, I will go Caudillos, I will go Fundies, and then I will go Galos Negros. That's a pretty easy week. No real challenges there, I don't think. For our season stat leaders so far, Harrison Robidoux from Caudillos, 500 yards already. Epler also has 500 yards. Mr. Chance Leon Bell. I wonder if that's really his name. Well, he's leading the league with 200 rushing yards. That's kind of funny. Yeah, and the Galos Negros guy killing it right now, 242, and then Emmanuel Harris also with 200 yards for the Caudillos. I think the Caudillos have a very good shot of going undefeated again. They're looking pretty hot. Um, and we will head on to the X League, where there is one game this week where Panasonic is playing the Hisui Challengers in the Green Bowl tournament. And I think Panasonic will easily handle them there. And then I think we have another week until the Pro Bowl playoffs continue. And then this week also kicked off the European League of Football. I don't have any previews for that because they're a foreign league, so I don't know. There's a lot of teams too. So last year, Stuttgart won the Central, Vienna won the East, Rhine won the West, but Rhine easily handled their way through to the championship, where they won 51-20 over Vienna. Uh, they did lose a couple teams, Barcelona and the other team that went away. Milano. Barcelona and Milano both folded this year, but they added a new team in the Nordic. Storm, to have made some pretty big flashes. They signed the last 2 years MVP candidate from Rhine away. There was also some big signings. Bart Andrews is going to coach Frankfurt this year. Jack Del Rio is coaching in this league this year. And then Jim Tamsula is obviously still the coach of the Fire. So some big ex-NFL guys there, and a big ex-spring guy, Bart Andrews. I will go Rhine. I will go Madrid. I will go. How did we see Panthers were okay last year? They're playing new runners. Panthers. I will go Raiders. That's a good push game. I'll go Munich. I'm gonna go Nordic Storm. I'll go Vienna. I'll go Frankfurt. And then Berlin, Cologne. I'll go Berlin. And then, yeah, that will do it. I don't really have any other statements to make today. So, I will talk to everybody next week, hopefully with more stable co-hosts. Talk to y'all then.